Good evening and welcome to Stupid O'Clock News. I'm Lewis Lee, and you're not. Dateline, San Antonio, Texas. A 10-year-old San Antonio boy made a killing by selling GameStop stock he was gifted more than a year ago. Jaden Carr's mother, Nina, spent $60 for 10 shares of the video game chain stock in December of 2019, which she gave him for Kwanzaa to reflect Ujamaa, which is one of the festival's 7 principles that focuses on cooperative economics. With GameStop's share price skyrocketing this week behind a speculative frenzy driven by a Reddit chat group, Jaden sold the shares Wednesday for a little less than $3,200, San Antonio Express News reported. My phone was going off because I have GameStop on my watch list, Nina said, watching the share price surge. I was trying to explain to him that this was unusual. I asked him, do you want to stay or sell? Well, the mother-son investing duo decided that it was just too good to pass up. They said that $2,200 of the funds would go toward Jaden's savings account and that they'd put the other $1,000 toward future investing. Well, it seems that there are plenty of winners in this. We'll just see when it shakes out who the losers are. That's the news. Let's start the show.
Sounds like a plan. Hello, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Glad to have everybody back. Sorry we had to miss Thursday night show. Had some plumbing issues here at the studio, and I couldn't sort of run stuff. Plus, I was totally exhausted because I had to dig a new sewer line.
Oh.
Well, I didn't dig the new sewer line. My son and a couple neighbors did the digging, but I actually was having to cut 1/4 of my deck away to get to it because it was evidently built across the sewer line that we didn't know about. So that was real fun. And then once we get down to it, we realize, the sewer, I live on a hill, and the sewer line, was running down the hill, and my sewer line was coming at it at an angle. But when it got down to it, instead of, hitting it at an angle like it should as a straight run, it made a 90 to go in. Took 95 years for the problem to really take effect. But when we broke the old line out today, there was over 7 feet of poop, toilet paper, and all sorts of stuff packed up.
How's that pasty tasting, Nick?
Dude, okay, first off, hi, Carl and Carly. Dude, the problem with a wife who can cook is it changes. She made me this pasty, and it's just, I've been after one of these for years. I got hooked on them when I went up to the Upper Peninsula in Michigan. And you can't find them. So for a while, you could even find recipes. People didn't know what you were talking about. They thought it was a donut. And my wife finally got it just so awesome that now I can't put the dang thing down. Horrible problem to have. That's first world problems right there. I have one pasty in 2 hands. Well,
I learned about pasties from a guy that lives in Montana. He had actually come down. Montana was playing at the Finley Stadium in the national championship for their division, and the guy was saying, "Where can you get pasties around here?" I'm like, "What's a pasty?" And he described it to me, and I'm like, "I don't know, but I think I'm going to try to make one at home." And it was a lot like a Natchitoches meat pie, so it wasn't too hard.
You know what? One of the few foods I miss that I cannot make here in the United States from being in Germany were the German Turkish style doner kebabs that they served in Berlin, which are somewhat unique.
Doner kebabs?
Doner kebabs.
Are they people?
Yes, we are being hit by a huge snowstorm, but let's not get. I haven't seen The Neighbor.
Oh, Donner Party kebabs.
No,
Heavy on the dark meat.
Some people call them a gyro.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
That looks good.
Don't they though?
Good.
And the pita bread's hard to make, not impossible, but that's roasted lamb meat.
Oh yeah, that would be a hero.
With the cabbage and the onions and tomatoes. It's just really,
I used to get those at a restaurant right across from the University of Georgia here in Athens. Now I got hooked on pasties when Lindsay and I went to England. I had never even heard of it before.
Cornish pasties.
Yes, exactly. I went to a little shop in downtown Portsmouth, right off the high street, and looked around and go, "What's a pasty?" And Lindsay said, "Well, try it. You'll love it. You'll love it. You like beef." It was like a very, very thick beef stew wrapped in pastry. Oh, and I'm going, whoa! I want more of these. I can actually mail order them from Parker's, which is a company that does British food and lets you mail order it here in the U.S.
Okay. Is it my imagination, or is pasties spelled exactly the same as pasties?
Yep.
It is. That's why
it is.
Which would make me order from entirely the wrong catalog. Let me tell you.
Don't search edible pasties.
Well, I tell you, if Betty Page shows up delivering my pastries, I don't care.
No. Cassandra
romance
Peterson.
and necromancy? What?
No, yeah, well, Cassandra's got the virtue of still being alive.
If you ever saw the Elvira movie, she did her little routine at the end of the movie, and it was impressive. Yes.
That was.
Did they twirl in opposite directions?
Yes.
That takes talent or practice.
It takes a double D.
Yeah. Oh.
She got them going left, and then she got them going right, and then she did both directions.
That's the routine. Yes, indeed.
Now,
God bless America.
Yes.
of
I wonder
course,
if we could put that on Joe's show without getting kicked off of YouTube.
probably not.
Well, wait a
As
minute.
long
What
as-
if we found? Can
But
we
I'm
find
sorry.
it on YouTube and then put it on YouTube?
I don't know. I don't know. We're not going to try it.
Well, it's really easy.
But
If
I'm
you
not-
found it on
guys-
Facebook and you shared it on Facebook, Facebook would ding you for sharing what
Sharing their
you found
Facebook
there.
post.
So
Now here's the thing. If it was Cassandra Peterson, I'm sorry. It was in 3D.
But on bump.
Double 3D.
Yes, she does tend to enter a room about 5 minutes before she actually gets there.
I saw
Oh.
a yin yang image of Cassandra Peterson and Dolly Parton as a yin yang, and I really need to find it because I want to put it on a wall with a spinner so that I can indicate my mood by who is which of them is up at the moment.
They could almost be sisters if you see them standing side by side.
Oh yeah.
Without the Elvira makeup, of course.
Oh, I'm quite familiar with Cassandra out of.
I don't know though. The wigs would probably be the same height.
Yeah.
The wigs are
Can you
about the same
imagine
height,
if
but Dolly has actually a bit. at least originally before work was done, had a bit more going for her in the breadth of the vessels,
Yeah.
Can you imagine Dolly Parton dressing as Elvira for Halloween?
And Elvira dressing as
Dressing
Dolly.
as Dolly Parton. Oh, that would be so funny.
Best
That
little
is-
whorehouse in Texas.
Except that Elvira
That is a
about
movie
a
I
head
would
taller
pay
than
to
Dolly. Dolly's a little bitty thing.
Well, Cassandra ain't
Yes,
that
she
big.
is. God bless her.
Yeah, she's like 5'9", isn't she?
No, about my height, yeah.
Yeah. That'd be
Dolly's
about a head
not much
taller
shorter
than
than
Dolly
I am.
Parton.
Yeah,
Dolly
Dolly's
Parton's
about
about
5'2", maybe 5'3".
Not that,
Yeah.
not that tall.
Alexa,
That
how
much
tall
hair,
is Dolly
but,
Parton?
Dolly Parton is 5 feet tall.
5 feet even.
Oh, Lord.
Wow. Dolly
She's even
without her
shorter than my
wig
wife.
is shoulder high on me and short. Wow. I can't know.
I'm
I
5'8",
cannot know
and
that. Label that in the files. I cannot tell myself. I'm sorry. That's too much efficiency in one package. And it makes perfect sense.
5 foot.
I can't know that, friends.
That would put her eyes even with
Alexa, how tall is
that.
Cassandra Robinson?
Peterson.
Peterson.
Contributor, 6'2".
6'2". No, I don't think she's that tall.
Peterson.
You said Robinson.
Maybe that's to the top of the wig.
You said
said
Robinson.
Robinson.
I said Robertson.
Her name
Her
is
name is
Peterson.
Peterson.
Peterson. Oh. Well, maybe that's why I got the wrong answer.
I
Yeah.
think you got a football player.
Alexa, how
right?
tall is Cassandra Peterson?
Cassandra Peterson is 5 feet 7 inches tall.
5'7". Okay, so 7 inches taller.
She's about my size.
Now, who's Cassandra Peterson? A basketball player?
No, Cassandra.
Robertson.
That's okay. See, I'm an equal opportunity kind of guy. I'm married, so I'm not going to do anything, so I can look at everything. You know?
You can look at the menu all you want. You just better go home to eat.
Absolutely.
That's the rules.
I'm a lifelong bachelor. I can eat where I want to.
You look kind of hungry.
John, if we make it to the after show, when I know it's not broadcast, remind me of that. I have a response, but it's not for sensitive ears and not something I want to follow me everywhere.
Seriously, John, you never been married?
Nope.
Whoever
Shocker.
Facebook user is, you said pass or fail. Shoot your name in there so we know who you are. Facebook, if you're a regular, Facebook has forgot, and you need to go to StreamYard.com/Facebook and grant them permission so we can see your name.
Or we have to call you funny things.
Yeah.
So we might do that even if we know who they are.
Yeah. And sorry, guys, I had to jump out, but the leg cramps I was talking about, I reached to scratch my toe and I had to stand up real quick.
We don't blame you. I'm amazed I'm coming through this nice with I went to look out the window and there's no window to see because the direct wind has just pasted the snow to the side of the house. So I guess it's awful white out there.
Mr. Pica.
Hey, John. Welcome
Hey,
to the
John.
show.
John. Now I want to know,
Let's see,
John.
it's 43 blazing degrees here.
Nick,
Do
what
you
is
have,
it?
John, your goatee is pink in that picture, and I seem to remember it being a different color, so either my memory is playing with me. Do you just have a green screen goatee that you can then switch the color on? How does that work? I'm just
Give me a
curious.
second. Let me see. Where's it? Is that share screen? No, that's not that. Hang on. Try this. Is it? camera?
Yeah, John, wrong button, John.
Yep, wrong button. I haven't had admin in a while, so there it is. Green screen.
Well, you need practice. Joe can't be here all the time, and neither can Skunk.
Blue.
You just need to add the Doctor Who whoosh noise when you're doing that.
Don't laugh. I have seriously considered going to Hobby Lobby and getting me a green screen. You should do. Nick. If you, I don't know if that might be too dark a blue.
I'm pretty sure it is. But yeah, I want to redo my study, and I'm torn between putting in an actual green screen or just getting some like wall sticky
because what
like
I want,
stone brick.
I want the Emperor's window from the Death Star in Return of the Jedi back behind
But you
me.
need to have it rigged where different things go flying by.
Yeah,
Like you see the
if I
Millennium
can do it,
Falcon.
have the space battle in the back. That you can just barely see the explosions and the lasers. Just barely in the back.
They're working on animated backgrounds. It's
That
coming.
would,
See,
yeah,
that's
that
beautiful.
that would be the problem. Right now, the only backgrounds you can have are still photos. So
Yeah.
the animated ones are a little bit harder. But
Well, with my rig, I can do that. I don't have to depend on StreamYard. I can do it before it ever gets to.
The only reason my beard is very salt and pepper, more salt and pepper, and what you're
I dig
seeing
it.
is the glow coming off my laptop screen, lighting up
Yeah.
my beard, so you get that blue, green, gray kind of thing.
I kind of like the warmth my goofy ceiling fan light gives. It's a good color. So wait, hold on. It's more warm through my yellow glasses that I forget I wear everywhere. But but I'll take that too.
there is that when you add filters.
Oh yeah, man. If it weren't for these, the world starts to look black and white too often. You know what I'm saying?
I used to wear shooting glasses all the time in the military.
Oh yeah.
I had the Smith and Wessons that had the prismatic laser covering, and they made everything look yellow. But
I have a set like Dan has.
Yeah, I need to clean these.
John asked, "Is there a way to take live calls?" Yeah, it involves a roadcaster. I just haven't quite got one. Can't quite afford one right now. And John says he can't hang long today. It's been exhausting. I absolutely know what you mean, John. I've been 4 foot deep in the ground working on a sewer line, so I completely understand.
Nope. My dad is Navy. We don't dig holes. We have Marines for that.
Amen.
I think Joe was in the position of my dad, the farmer. Ain't nobody else going to do it. I got to get the shovel.
Oh, I respect it. I just don't do it.
Well, I didn't do the digging. I just did the professional work of gluing the pipe together and getting it placed and cut.
Yeah, I imagine with 7 feet of sewage back up in the pipe, that was a bit of an unpleasant thing, even without having to be 4 feet down in a hole.
Yeah.
Well, you can tell everybody.
I don't imagine the hole was that comfortable either.
Yeah. Well, with me, I lucked out, and my son was the one that got that privilege.
I'm sorry, I saw what Carl was said, and now I'm thinking about Allison.
Talk about being grateful for a mess.
Hey, folks.
What?
5 of Donald Trump's impeachment lawyers stepped aside just a little over a week before his trial begins.
Well, if he can't afford an attorney will be provided for him.
Oh, he can afford one. He just doesn't like to pay them. That's the issue. They probably asked for a retainer.
Up front, because he has a
Donald
reputation.
Trump has quite the reputation for not paying his bills.
Just ask Rudy. Or
Yeah.
Trump Universe.
Yeah, he stiffed Rudy Giuliani already.
He's had that reputation since the 70s.
Yeah.
He stiffed construction workers and all kinds of folks all over the years. And
Got
Oh,
him.
let's
got
not
him
get
on a
into
contract.
that. It could be.
He got him on a contract. Tech.
I don't know if I'd be
Well,
holding a
I
contract
got.
to somebody who's in charge of my defense who doesn't want to be there. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Depends. Certain contracts can be quite useful. Depends on who you have
true.
them with. I got a letter this week that says my phone company has increased my internet speed, and I'm going, well, am I going to notice that, or is it just one of those little fractional things? And so far, well, I haven't frozen up yet. And,
Your audio has cut out a little less than normal.
Yeah.
oh well, that would probably be the biggest effect of it because you know I don't move that much. I'm old, but I do tend to talk a lot.
It's okay. I don't move that much. I'm fat, so we'll get along just fine.
We need to take a picture of Dan on the screen and make a cardboard cutout for when he's not here.
And no one would ever know.
If
You
you
can-
could record that smug laugh on like a little beatbox over here, where every once in a while you just hit that. I bet we can pull it off.
You make me sound like Ed McMahon. Here's Johnny.
I'm gonna tell you, late night has not been the same since Johnny left.
No, it
Yeah,
hasn't.
I pretty much gave up late night TV when Carson retired.
Well,
I
see,
tried.
Frank
I
Ferguson
tried.
was hilarious.
I gave everybody a chance,
You know,
but
I
he
miss
just-
Arsenio Hall.
that was the one that gave me hope. But then his show just went poof.
I don't know what happened to his show.
All right, Lewis has got something to show.
I was going to show you the video project that I was been working on for the 6888. The all black female WAC unit that was the only one deployed to Europe during World War II. I wanted to kind of make the opening look like an old newsreel. So check this out.
Not bad.
Yes.
Excellent.
Port Oglethorpe, Georgia, January 13th, 1945. Dear Mom and Dad, I'm sorry it took so long to write you, but we have been very busy getting settled into the new barracks.
I'm just going to play about a minute, but check it out.
Here from
I love it.
43. Fort Demand. I wish I could tell you everything. Maybe after the war.
I like your props. Very authentic. You got the field desk. You got the file thing.
Things that were different here. But I didn't dare.
The canvas in the background kind of looks like a tent.
Even got stains.
Now, you got to listen to what she's saying here.
But I was
Can't hear it that well.
headed overseas. The weather might be warmer down here, but our reception was cold as ice. The post commander made it clear we weren't like the other troops. We got separate water fountains, places we can't go. Just a few months ago, a white was arrested, put in jail, and fined just for sitting in the white section of the bus. Her name was Private Beatrice Jackson. Our XO Captain Campbell told us about her as a warning.
So what do y'all think?
That's powerful.
Nice.
Thank you.
No, seriously, that's
I'm
a powerful
impressed.
drama.
Oh, hold on a minute, Dan. Hold on a minute, Dan.
Dan, you're muted. Okay, there you go.
Okay.
When,
Well-
I had to mute your mic while you had your hand over it because it was drowning out the audio.
Well, that was my point about the audio in the
Yeah.
clip there. It's probably an artifact of showing it on StreamYard, but it was very quiet and a little bit choppy. And that's probably StreamYard doing that because it's a recording being
Or
played
your
on.
connection.
Yeah, that was on your
Well, no,
side.
everybody's voices sound just fine. It was the recording itself was different from the quality of what I'm hearing when we're talking.
Okay.
Yeah, audio was down, but it wasn't choppy. That was probably on Dan's connection.
As long as it sounds good to Lewis on his equipment, then it will probably sound good when he plays it
Oh yeah,
for real.
yeah. Now,
I'm blaming StreamYard for any difficulty that I was having.
yeah. So, Lewis, is this going to be used at the post down there, or
This is going to be shown. This is going to be shown at the 6 Cav Museum. It's going to be shown in schools around the world.
Okay,
It
cool.
can be made available to schools completely, loose, free. It's paid for by a grant from the Department of the Interior. So,
National Park money. Hey.
No,
getting
see,
that
I'm feeling
Fed money,
like
baby. Getting that Fed money.
Government cheese.
government cheese. Yes.
Hey, there was nothing better than that government cheese, man. That was as good as McDonald's American slices.
That was though. Like I'm not even joking. I grew up with some of that stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
me
it
too.
My school had that stuff. I think it
Believe
was
me,
the
I
original.
was not always the successful entrepreneur you see here today. There was a time where I had government cheese when I was in 6th grade.
I was born a poor black child in Mississippi.
Well, if you grew up in East Tennessee and you saved
what?
the government cheese in 6 months with your allotment, you had enough to build a house because it came in bricks and it was indestructible.
Yeah.
Fire ants won't eat that shit.
But anyway, what do you guys think about the breaking the fourth wall and giving the real story?
Just superb. Seriously.
That was perfect. That was perfect. Actually,
Now, was that supposed to be Europe or down in Georgia?
No,
It
now
was
that's
in
down in
Georgia.
Georgia. Now the Europe, we actually found a bed and breakfast.
I saw
and
that.
You've seen this video, and I haven't edited that one yet. I'm going to edit that one probably tomorrow.
You got to get rid of the electronics and the.
I know. Don't worry. I'm going to crop it to where it'll be gone. That's why I shot it in 4K so that I could do all kinds of cropping, because the master is going to be 1080p. So I shot it in 4K so that I would have plenty of leeway.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna put the static lines?
What?
No,
Or you can put like static
like the
lines?
old newsreel films. The old
No.
had the static lines in the film.
Yeah, no. Not going to go that. Not going to go that far. Black and white's as far as I'm willing to go to dirty it up.
Static lines would distract a modern viewer because they wouldn't understand what it was.
Probably.
Have you ever seen the movie that Tom Selleck did, Ike, Countdown to D-Day?
Yeah.
You ever see? It's a very well done movie. Tom Selleck plays Dwight Eisenhower, and it's right before D-Day, and it's everything that was. It's like the first 3 months leading up to D-Day, and the studio that was putting the money up for it gave them so much money and so much time. Well, the problem is the weather was killing them. Okay. So they got done with it, and they decided they needed to have some extra footage shot to, like, what do you call it when you go from one scene to another?
Cutscenes.
Cutscenes. They needed to film something for cutscenes, but everything was gone by then. So I love what they did. Somebody had gone around with a 35 millimeter camera and had taken pictures of the production while it was going on. And so somebody took those and made them black and whites. And as the cut scenes was using those as the cut scene in between all the movies. So instead of spending, all this money to go back and film those cut scene fade ins, they just threw some 35 millimeter stuff up and it looked great. Because
Hey, Michaela, how you doing?
Oh, and I just remembered those are also called segues.
Segways. I think that was
Yeah,
that might be not a cutscene, but a segue.
B-roll.
Cutscenes weren't really a thing until video games. I'm sorry. Segue, I think, is the correct term. Things Johnny Carson taught me in my youth.
The answer before the question?
I could ad lib here, but it would take too long to explain the smart ass remark, so I won't do it.
That's okay. He who laughs last thinks slowest. It's fine. But
and just to make Skunk happy, I made the rocket go away in the background. And,
well, that was nice of you.
In my clock.
Is Skunk okay, by the way?
I don't know. I haven't heard from him.
He's probably working.
Yeah, he's probably doing wrestling tonight.
Yeah, I think Saturday night's usually a wrestling night. They may be having something big, or traffic may be bad.
Well,
Michaela, yes, we heard about Christian Basil's challenge. At least I did. The first one to 100 gets to see subscribers on your YouTube gets to see the other topless. I believe was how that went.
Yeah,
that's not a bet. Christian's always topless.
Well, not always. He was wearing a shirt last night.
Well, I think Christian has more stakes in the matter. Trying to win. I don't know. Maybe we ought to throw the guy a bone.
Now, what is this about you being a cryptid, Nick?
Okay, I am not a cryptid, contrary to popular belief.
That's what the comment said.
There's this thing going around where people are claiming I'm an Indiana cryptid.
You might be encrypted, but
yeah, no. I was responsible for the birth of an urban legend, and I will call that. But I do not believe I'm a cryptid. However, there seems to be this campaign to prove to everyone else out there that I'm some kind of hobbit gnome hybrid running around disguising myself as a Oh, God.
The jokes write themselves, don't they? Ah.
They just do. She doesn't need furniture anymore. She just has people for that. Oh, I'm sorry. Wrong kind of subs. Yeah. Now, it was said somewhere in the comments that if you'd made the green room, you know what I was talking about with referencing something John said. I never make the green room because it runs counter to my live show. And, that's 8/7 Central on my YouTube channel. I talk about swords and such. He said totally not shamelessly plugging himself. But,
well, unless your show lasts till after midnight, you can still pop in after your show.
I could, but usually by then I don't get bathroom breaks during my show.
Oh.
So I go 2 hours straight. Dang it, you're pulling out Real Nick. Real Nick's not supposed to come out on a public feed. But, I get through a couple of these and it's go, deal with that, hit the caffeine crash and try and get on my machine. Mm-hmm. You know what? One of these days I will make it to the green room. I really will. And thank you, Carl. I appreciate that. It's just my jokes are terrible.
just so you know, if you have to stay in one chair for a long time and you can't go to the bathroom to pee, Gatorade bottles have the wide mouth.
Dude, I've driven cross country. I am very aware. I dare I say intimately aware of the diameter of certain beverage bottles for emergency.
I used to keep a big Gatorade bottle in the satellite truck at Channel 12.
Yeah.
Just
The trick is to make sure it's always the lemon lime look at flavors, so it doesn't look.
Yeah.
No, you
Yeah.
don't want to do that because if you're not in the truck and somebody finds it,
And
That's
if
their
somebody
problem.
starts drinking my Gatorade without my permission, they get
No.
what they deserve.
Yeah.
Yep. It'll
I
learn
hadn't
them.
considered that. I hadn't considered that.
That'll learn
There's
them,
a whole
Vern.
lot. There's a whole lot of salt in this Gatorade.
Oh, now wait a minute. I don't even
Relish
know what it
bad
tastes like.
Gatorade.
So
I've had chemistry classes.
Now, where I used to work at, this guy would always snipe my Gatorade after I left. So I fixed him up one day. I used half a box of salt in the Gatorade. You know, poured a little in, shook it up, poured a little more in, got it fully dissolved,
Ooh.
and left him about a half a bottle. And he would, and everybody's telling me when I'd leave, he would grab it and he would chug it down just because he knew it'd piss me off the next morning. They said he slugged it down and puked for about 30 minutes.
You know,
Now you want to know the best kicker to the story is?
Let's hear the rest of the
you
story.
never did it again.
He never did it again, but just so happens the guy ended up being my brother-in-law.
Ah! That's where you go.
Wow.
Look, I did that to you because you annoyed me. Imagine what I'll do to you now that you're family. Okay. Let's see. There's a whole bunch of comments. Michaela's. What color are you using, Michaela? Don't lay a line like that and not keep us excited. You know.
And Carlene says,
you know, you guys would post that when I have to paint the entire downstairs sometime in the near future.
Oh, Lindsay wants to repaint the entire interior of the house.
Yeah, the bathroom, the hallway where the pantry is, and the kitchen all have wallpaper. And I'm thinking about just doing Kills primer over it and then figure out what color paint I want to do. Because I really don't want to try and steam wallpaper off the walls.
That is a big job, yes. That's something that Servpro failed to do in our bathroom after the fire when they were trying to clean up the smoke damage. And the wallpaper showed through the paint that they put over it.
Dan, have you bought paint lately?
About $30 a gallon on average.
Yeah, it's pricey.
No.
That's why I'm waiting on a sale.
What I need to do is just get one of those big tanker trucks and a compressor and a nozzle on the end, and just walk in with a big hose and just because I'm going to have to replace everything anyway.
You know, quarter pound of C4 and a gallon paint can will do the job like that.
Yeah, but then I had to have a new roof, and I just did one of those, and the insurance company is
Quarter pound, just enough to get the paint everywhere.
Just a little pinch between cheek and gum and a detonator.
Frankly, I'd rather use a 5-gallon drum.
Quarter-inch thick. Okay, I forgot that.
Frankly, I'd rather use about a 5-gallon bucket of Mentos and a 55-gallon drum of Pepsi or whatever it is.
I wonder if that works.
I would like to remind for our sort of acronym friends watching this that this is all said in jest, and no one has access to these said items. We all are compliant and following all local, state, and federal law.
Nick, I'm already on that list, so hush.
I'm a science fiction writer. I'm on so many lists now. I got on watch lists for being a staff member of the Jack the Ripper website.
Dude,
so.
I know Ben at the BATF, okay? I'm on a first name basis with the guy. He calls me every so often. Like, did you do that? Oh, wasn't me. No, it's.
Well, you heard the ATF is, putting out a mandate that all AR-15 owners put floaties on their rifles if they're going to be in a boat, right? I mean,
hey, mine got abducted by aliens.
Don't say that.
The flying saucer came over, green beam. All my AR-15s just disappeared.
John, don't say that. The government can fact check that.
I was living in a trailer park and everything I had got stolen.
Nick, the downside to this is the government would have to admit there were UFOs. Okay,
they did. They released it in the middle of 2020 and nobody was watching. Stone serious. It got out.
I saw the video. It was unconvincing.
I love that one.
I'm talking about the declassification of the reports. Plus the CIA report.
Have you seen the one meme where the guy goes, since all the National Guard troops are in Washington, now's the time to invade Area 51? Because ain't nobody there.
That's not the National Guard. They have their own service.
Area 51's not even Area 51 anymore. Just isn't like it used to be.
Oh, it was never what everybody thought it was. So.
No.
I've been there. It's a runway. That's it.
It's Skunk Works' flight test area.
And one of the reasons it was very secret. Another reason it was very secret is the Atomic Energy Commission used to store nuclear weapons there for the test over in areas 21, 23, whatever, over in the Yucca Flats testing area. No, White Sands is down in New Mexico.
Yeah,
up in Nevada.
But did you hear that the Department of Energy or whoever has authorized the sale of the glass that was made from the first blast?
Yeah,
it's called something right. Anyway, you can actually own a piece of that atomic glass now.
It's got some sort of.
I don't know, man. I'd be hitting it. I'd be hitting it with a Geiger counter first. Like, do I really want this in my house?
Well, it's going to be radioactive.
Hey, there's skunk.
Oh, skunk.
Printatite.
Yeah, but is it going to be glowing watch face radioactive or full out grow a third ear radioactive?
No, it
really is. You crack the box and you get to reenact Raiders of the Lost Ark and be the Nazi at the end. No, see, people get mad at me because they start talking about, the government has a secret. Yes, please. The vast majority of people are kind of dumb. We don't need to know what all the government has in the back pocket. I don't want to know. Because if I know people who can do things with that knowledge, no, thank you. I'll just stay mostly content,
Hey, Kay had it right. A person is smart. People are dumb, panicky animals.
Absolutely. But.
And it's called Trinitite, Lewis. It actually has a couple names.
That's right.
Depending on the composition. If it's got more of one thing in it than the other, it's called something else. But the main thing is Trinitite.
Basically, it's sand that was turned into glass by heat.
It's got
tremendous heat.
It's got a lot of calcium and some other. Well, go look at the Wikipedia thing.
Now, if you go on Google Earth and find Area 51, you can actually zoom out and go over and actually see all the test sites and see the craters.
Yucca Flats.
Yeah.
You can see the Sedan crater and all the other craters. And
great fun.
That whole area, a lot of people don't know this. Let me see if I can find that real quick, and I'll post a picture. A lot of people don't know this, but that whole area, the Nevada test site, is a bunch. It's divided into smaller areas, and each one's got there's area 1, 2, 3, all the way up through 51 and 60 something, or something like that. That whole area is one big testing facility. You know what's funny? The government doesn't technically own it; they're leasing it from the owners. There's that whole. I mean, a lot of that area out there is privately
like the
owned.
4th generation of owners by now.
Yeah, 5th or so. It goes all the way back to I can't remember what it was called.
Now, see,
it goes all the way back to the early before Nevada was even a state.
Now,
Wow.
see, that makes me wonder some interesting questions, and that the kind of questions that get you in trouble. Who are the owners of that? Why do they still own it? And yeah, I'm feeling my "shut up for your own safety" thing on the back of my neck.
It's kind of the same, Nick. It's kind of the same thing. Why would you pay $400 a month to rent a building? Because you're going to make a crack house out of it anyway. And you don't want to own a crack house, so you rent and make a crack house and leave.
Which explains Washington, D.C. adequately, doesn't it?
And
So basically, Area 51 is America's meth lab.
Pretty. That's almost a damn.
Don't say that. Florida will invade.
Invade, they'll foreclose.
This is a map of the Nevada test site, and up here's where the Sedan crater and all that stuff is. Area 51's over here. Okay, there's Yucca Flat, but you can see all the different. Those were all. There were some smaller tests down here. Most of the tests were in this area. There's some there, and then these were smaller tests up in these areas too. And you can see you got area 20, 19, 18. I don't know who designed this map. 8, 10, 2, 4, 1, 6, 11, so on and so forth. And
Government logic.
You know, I wonder if just somebody, said, I want that area over there. Well, you're doing test 22, so we'll call that one area 22. Well, I want that one over there. You're doing test number 5, so we'll call that one area 5.
All right,
Okay,
Carl, we'll see
In
you.
a bit.
Now, I'll tell you why those people are still holding on to it, because there's gold on the property.
And Trinitite, or whatever the hell we called it.
And,
Yeah, that's the radioactive glass that's made from
I
nuclear bomb.
remember the one.
And
Does this look familiar, Lou?
Oh, God. Dan's about to do karaoke.
No.
Dad, put that away. This is a civil public show. Oh, never mind.
Okay. The way they
This-
do the
this used-
underground test.
This used to hang from the ceiling in my recording studio when I had a garage band. There's only one of
Oh.
about 10.
Mm-hmm.
The way they do those atomic tests, they drill the hole, but then they put a zigzag up near the top of it. So when the bomb goes off, the zigzag collapses and keeps everything down inside the hole it creates. And then it collapses and creates that crater. Yeah. They had one that this cap failed, and it shot this plume of smoke miles into the atmosphere that was full of all the radioactive material from the atomic blast. And it irradiated over a third of the United States.
That explains Northwest Indiana.
Pretty much. I can't remember the name of the test. I want to say Plum Bob, but I might be wrong.
now there is rumors of a manhole that blew off one of those tests.
Manhole cover, yeah.
It what
Two.
you're calling the manhole cover is a little silly. There was one. It weighed about 500 tons. Big iron thing, or some got 50 tons, something like that. 50,000
Yeah.
pounds. They had it on top of the thing, and when they fired the test, they couldn't find it. Afterward, they were like, they expected to find it laying off to the side a couple miles or something like that. And
That's the UFO in Area 51.
But one of the scientists was like, we need to figure out what happened to this thing. So they set up a high-speed camera, and it was shooting 10,000 frames a second or something like this. And when that atomic bomb went off, they only caught this manhole cover. Now, this thing's 50,000 pounds. Okay. They only caught it in one frame at 10,000 frames a second. And they did some math and figured out the speed. It was moving 125,000 miles an hour.
That's a little bit more than launch velocity.
It is known as the fastest man-made object in history that they ever had proof of.
And they believe the orbit that it has passed Pluto's orbit by now.
Yes.
All I'm seeing is some UFO minding its own business, cruising halfway outside. Wham!
Was that a damn manhole cover? Shit.
The humans are throwing rocks into space.
Sir, the radiation detector just went off. They're shooting something at us.
Y'all better have insurance down there.
The monkeys are throwing nuclear rocks.
Okay. Did you guys know that they detonated 2 nuclear devices in the state of Mississippi? Right outside Hattiesburg, Mississippi.
Didn't do the job. Didn't do the job.
You ever wonder, and it's because I'm an author, what are they trying to kill underground at this point? I mean, they've done enough tests. I'm really wondering what's down there that they want to kill that bad.
Finish your story, John.
They were. This was right when they started doing the ban on underground testing. Right before they did the ban, there was a salt dome in the middle of Mississippi, and they dug a tunnel down into it and detonated an atomic device. And the reason they did it in Mississippi, A, they had a salt dome they could use. B, all the testing equipment was out near Nevada. And they wanted to test this detection equipment to see if it could detect underground nuclear devices over 1,000 miles away, because they wanted to monitor what everybody else was doing. Okay. So they did the first one, and they waited a few months till the hole cooled down. They ran a camera down and looked to see what it did. And they did a second test in the same hole. They weren't real big devices, which is exactly what they were looking for. They were looking for people that were testing triggering devices and stuff like that. So, and that was almost 50 years ago, I think. And they finally, it's still there. You can look it up on the maps and everything. They turned it into a park. And there's a big cap over the hole that they ran the atomic bombs down, or nuclear bombs.
Look down here.
Well, they would have had to have done it in Mississippi because the salt domes in Louisiana are all part of the Strategic Petroleum Reserves.
Yes, they have oil theirs.
Billions of barrels of oil in them.
Yeah, Carl Whitzman says, do we want giant ants?
Giant ants.
Yeah.
That's how you get giant ants.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen that movie.
Have you ever heard the conspiracy theory that the U.S. Navy was trying to kill some giant monster in the South Atlantic near Antarctica, and that there was a huge naval battle fought, and that nobody knows what the hell they were shooting at? You haven't heard this one, Lewis?
No.
It's
when was this supposed to have been?
In the 50s. Right about the time they were doing the atomic testing and Godzilla came to be. So.
Yeah, but Godzilla wasn't in Antarctica, so we put him in prison there.
Don Fry.
Yeah, you can look it up. There's a big conspiracy theory. Apparently, there was some big naval exercise. They were shooting guns or something like this, and nobody could explain it.
No,
Navy's always shooting guns. We like it.
Hey, now, John Pica posted up a picture the other day and says, who would win? It was Godzilla versus Superman. And I gave a full story. And Lewis goes, you thought way too hard.
You had far too much time to think about this.
And here's what I said. You know, it was Godzilla versus Superman. The caption was, "Who would win?" I said, "It's simple. Godzilla's gonna eat Superman whole. Superman's going to slide down the gullet, rip himself loose from, rip himself loose from the inside,
Tear himself out from the inside.
tear himself out from the inside. But Godzilla's blood is kryptonite based, the green blood. So Superman gets trapped inside Godzilla. Godzilla dies. Superman drowns in Godzilla's blood."
Okay. Gamma for the win. So I'm all for it.
Gamma would
I'm a
probably be the one-
Mothra guy. Give me the
And-
twins, baby. Give me the twins.
And look, and like Lewis said, I thought that one way too. Thought that one way too hard.
Yeah, I think Godzilla's blood is just gamma ray irradiated, not kryptonite. So,
Well, he's got green blood.
Now that
Whale.
song is stuck in my head, Lewis. Like, not even joking. Sorry.
Mothra.
And I'm ready for Superman tonight.
God.
And earlier, while Skunk popped in while you were out and says, "Dan looks like Freddy Krueger with that sweater on."
That was the intent.
You know, I wish Skunk was here because I wanted to talk to him about a horror movie that he may not have thought about as being a horror movie. But I'll go ahead and tell you guys because I just saw it tonight. High Plains Drifter,
Yes.
the Clint Eastwood movie,
Yes.
where they killed the one marshal, and he supposedly comes back and gets revenge on the town that killed him.
Yeah. Pale Rider's a horror movie.
Sort of. It's almost in the same vein, actually. But I mean,
They don't talk about it. They make it, more subtle, but all the bullet holes. Oh yeah, it's a great vengeance horror. Anytime it's basically I know what you did last Western.
yeah, really.
Sorry, that's part of my
Well-
New Year's Eve tradition. Is
Well, wouldn't
It was-
old No Country for Old Men? Wouldn't that be a psychological thriller?
Oh, it was definitely.
yeah.
I'll tell you, that movie still freaks me out. Used to I'd think, man, I sure would love to find all that drug. Now money? No, hell no. Don't.
But he was free and clear with it, but his conscience bothered me. He had to try and take water back to that guy that'd been shot. I'm like, oh my God. No, you got a wife, dumbass. You don't do that sort of. You can't be that nice to other people when you have a wife.
Hey,
You're not wrong.
well, ever since
in a minute.
then, my first stop is
Drop that and go, John. Sorry,
Hey,
John.
my first after watching that, my first stop would be Walmart to buy a new suitcase, and then I would go to probably Oklahoma somewhere, rent a hotel room, go through all the money, make sure there's no trackers in that, and leave the bag there, and then come back, and then hide the money for about 6 years.
I think it would be safer to take the empty bag to Oklahoma.
See, you know what? That whole trope of you find this vast sum of money, man, I'm more prone to leave it there because the kind of trouble that follows that kind of money is never worth what that kind of money is.
You got
You know what
that
I'm
right.
saying?
I think that's what the whole point of that movie was.
Mm-hmm.
Because anytime like you see something that's that too good, yes, the single guy is saying that wives make you necessitarily mean. Necessitarily. That's not a word it should be.
Necessitarily.
They make you.
Hey, that's a new one I'm
protective.
going to use.
But yeah, it's just priority. I got to be ruthless. I have a wife and kid.
Yeah, really.
That gets back to me talking about, sword fighting and stuff. Now, I got no time to mess around. I'm not a big guy. Anytime there's hand-to-hand stuff, I mean, I'm all gimpy. I gotta go like broken bottles, thrown bricks, every dirty, shady, underhanded, ruthless. I got no range not to. And it
Really,
just,
pointy end goes in the other guy quickly.
yeah. And tonight,
How tall are
I'm
you, Nick?
rocking one of my lovely little carbon fiber knives by Cool Hand. It's a discontinued model, but was donated to me because I came out of the shower and I realized I left my neck knife in there, and I can't be more than like a half hour without a knife on me, or I get shaky. So grab the nearest knife that was edged, and it was between this one and a larger one. Also. Carbon fiber. And I can't take these into several states because there's not enough metal on them to set off a metal detector.
Then how are they going to catch you?
Because he'd look nervous.
Well, I do also I don't concealed carry my neck knives.
Carl, just take enough for a couple boxes of fine cigars and leave the rest. Yeah.
Carl, I heard you talking about the cost of your cigars. You're going to need the entire bag.
Oh, you know what, Carl? Let me check. No, you see, Carl was asking, are there any Yeti in the snow tonight? And I just saw one of the sheriff's secret police walkers go thunking by. Now, who'd think a giant camel in the snow would be a good idea? But it looks pretty quiet on the literally western front. But I'll let you know if there's anything else going on. Thanks for asking, Carl.
And Dan, that video you were asking about posted 8 minutes ago.
Yes, I've got it up here ready to play whenever we are not occupied, because I will have to hear it, and either I leave the room and watch it, or I wait till later. So,
well, you know what? We are sort of a con-based show, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is con news, right?
Right. It's not copyrighted.
I don't think it would be.
No, it's a public service announcement.
Yes.
So I'm assisting you in deciding to go ahead and try and play the video.
Well, it's running premiere, so we're going to jump in the middle of it. So we might have to wait till it.
It's only 11 minutes long or thereabouts. So.
Okay. Well.
Hey, it's. We've all got the memberships already. It's not like we can't go. We just need to make sure that Wednesday we get the rooms for LibertyCon.
Yeah.
I mean,
you guys lost me for a second there. I was a little.
Well, the last live LibertyCon tickets, memberships were on sale for less than 45 minutes before the con was sold out.
29 minutes, 26 seconds.
That's right. I was the one actually keeping time. The entire con sold out in less than half an hour.
Jeez.
750 people.
And for next year, it will be an even 1,000, I do believe.
Yeah. They're going to add 250 more, but they're rolling everybody from last year into next year. So they're going to open up for 250 more.
Well, they're rolling everybody from last year into this year, since we're going to have a live con. So next year, it's going to be 1,000 even.
Yeah.
And when those memberships go on sale, it's going to be like piranhas feeding. There are going to be little bitty bites taken out every picosecond.
Yep.
Picosecond. Nice.
Oh. And now this is a new beer. It is yes, it's not something I have ever tried before. It's
All right, it's made it all the way through. Let me get it up.
well, so much for my filler.
All right, let me get this set up. This is breaking news from LibertyCon. Share the audio because that's the big part of it. Make sure volume's up. There we go.
Slide us to the side.
John, if you would go ahead and bring the video up on the screen, tell me when to hit play.
All right. Hit play.
Morning, everyone. This video that I promised, talking about where we were at as far as having Liberty. So right now, everybody knows very well what
Hey, Joe, can you turn up the video on that or the
we are beginning.
audio?
That's all I got.
So we don't think we are going to be at that herd immunity full vaccination level by June 26th, 27th, which is when LibertyCon is. Our Hotel Convention Center is continuing to book events, and so our contract is in force. So as such, we will be having LibertyCon at this time. Now, we all know that that's subject to change. If we were to get another spike and we were to have another governmental shutdown, that could change. But here's where we are today. So we are proceeding in our planning with the assumption that we're a go. So some of you are going to be exceedingly excited about this, and some of you are going to be a little horrified. And that's okay. So let me tell you a little bit about what we've been talking about as a board and what we talked about at the board meeting last night. We're going to proceed with certain assumptions. Right now, what our hotel and our convention center tells us is that there are no social distancing restrictions as far as room capacity. However, out of an abundance of caution, we're going to change up the space a little bit. We're going to add another room. We couldn't get the ballrooms, they were already rented out, but we're going to add another room so that we can put together some of the other rooms to space folks out as we can. We are assuming that we will be in the situation still where folks will be wearing masks. So I want people to understand that as you all make the decision whether you're going to come or not this summer. For people who have health issues and whether they get the vaccine or not are simply not comfortable at this point and don't think they're going to be comfortable by the end of June in this place that we could have anywhere from 300 to 1,000 people. Go ahead and let us know and roll over your membership to 2022. That's completely fine.
Everybody mute, please.
Because of health reasons, PTSD, or just personal choice, cannot or will not wear a mask. Again, we completely respect that decision. You might want to think through our assumption that we are going to be wearing masks. Anyone who does not feel comfortable with this can also roll over to 2022, because the last thing we want to do is to set up a scenario where you're not going to have a great weekend, even if it is a little different. We're still working on a lot of the figuring out what we're going to do in a lot of the areas. We're still figuring out how the con suite's going to work. We have made the decision this year not to have the banquet. This is a 1-year only decision at this point. We're going to keep the list we have because it's sold out, and we're going to roll it over. If for whatever reason you're just done with this, we've skipped a year, whatever reason you don't think you're going to be there next year, we will refund that money for the banquet. And all you have to do is let me know that. So we'll figure that out. There's a few other things that we've decided we're not going to do. such as the coffee clatch. I know that's a very popular thing on Sunday, but for 1 year only, we're gonna substitute some things for that. So we want to really try to balance giving everybody a wonderful weekend and keeping folks safe. Some other things we're talking about doing is we're going to shorten panels from 50 minutes to 45 minutes. And that gives our programming staff some time to reset chairs and to Lysol the room. So if you're allergic to Lysol, again, that's something that you might want to consider, because we are going to be doing our best to disinfect things, but knowing that we are all adults, we all have to keep our own health in mind with what we're doing. We're going to begin to look at the event insurance that most, if not all, conventions carry and see what that looks like. There's absolutely no way that COVID will be included. So we're looking at, like many conventions are, a form that you're going to sign if you make that decision, that will hold the convention and the facilities blameless for any illness you get. We haven't made any firm decisions on how we're going to do that, what that looks like. We are still exploring all of this. But right now, we're a go. Please know, don't make any travel arrangements or hotel arrangements unless you're just going to come anyway on vacation in Chattanooga, which is a beautiful city, that can't be refunded, just in case something happens and we have to shut down. And that would be an extraordinary circumstance at this point, but it could happen. In the case that we do shut down for whatever reason, that would be sort of a governmental, not letting us have, or anybody have, big events, we will go virtual. And that's definitely something that we're going to be figuring out. So the first thing I want to do is to thank everyone. I have gotten a ton of emails, phone calls, texts, just being very supportive of the convention, trying to figure all this out. There's no perfect solution. I wish there was. I wish that we could all be together, seeing each other and having that 100% safe feeling. I wish that we could accommodate everybody's preferences and everybody's needs. And we can't. If I said anything else, I would be a liar. So we're trying to just be very honest, very upfront about how we're going to do this and how we think we're going to do this at this time. So if you, for any reason, already make the decision that you want to roll over to 2022, please email Matt at registration@libertycon.org. Matt will at least, and it might take him a little while to get to everybody because we got a lot going on right now, but your receipt for that will be when he emails you back saying, I got you. If you have any other questions, if you have any other complaints, if you just want to talk, my email is Brandy, BRANDY, @libertycon.org. Again, especially if it's during the week, it might take me a minute to get to you. I promise you, though, I'm going to get to each and every email, and we're going to talk. And if we need to talk by phone, that's completely fine, too, because I know some conversations are just easier that way. So I promise you, I'll get to any email you send. The other thing is, the room block is being sent out today for volunteers, because we know we're going to, no matter whether it's 400 or 500 or the full 1,000, we know we're not only going to need our existing volunteers, but we're going to need a lot of help in this, and we're going to need some grace. And that's not really something I worry about too much, because every year when I come, so many people are just amazing. If you are not sure, if you are just like, I'm probably not going to come, but I'm not sure, hold off a little bit on getting a hotel room. They're nowhere near full capacity. I don't think you're going to have a problem. Of course, I cannot say that for 100% sure. But what we don't want to do is fill it up with people who are not sure if they're coming. And then all of a sudden, a week or two before, we have 200 cancellations. and the convention now owes $10,000 or $15,000 because we can't meet our contract commitment when we had other people who would have come who've already made other arrangements. So just please think about that as you are reserving. And what we ask is, as we get closer, 60 days, 45 days, please think about that. If all of a sudden it gets closer and reality becomes apparent in our heads, as it does to all of us, that I thought I was okay with this, I'm not okay with this, then please, again, let me know. We will roll you over at that time. If you have a hotel room, let me know that so that I have enough time to try to figure out who else can take it. So our guests of honor, we are giving them the same information. It's too early to ask for a commitment from them to recommit to 2021 for sure. We have an amazing guest list, and my hope is that every one of them have been vaccinated if they choose and who feel comfortable coming. We're asking for that same 60 to 45 days. Please let us know so that if not, we can refill those spots. So if you're only coming for one guest of honor, please just keep watching Facebook and the website. We're going to let you know as soon as we do. So I've probably forgotten something. I'm going to try over the next few days to put bites of this in text, but this was a lot of information, so I just thought it would be better coming straight from me. For anyone who is not staff, that is the one thing I forgot. The hotel block will open February 3rd. If you have problems, just email me, let me know, because if we fill it up, then, and this happens every year, if we fill it up, the link will not work, because what we're going to be doing is posting a link. That's how you register. And then I'll ask for more rooms. And they've been very gracious in the past, is what I can say. So if you're having trouble and it says they don't have enough rooms, let me know. It's not all over, because they really are very good about expanding the room block. So again, if you have any questions, brandy@libertycon.org. And just, we really appreciate y'all. And I will be very, very happy to see everyone who comes in June. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye, Brandy. I love you.
That was helpful.
And my camera has gone black.
Oh, I thought you forgot to pay the light bill.
No,
I can't unmute.
Godzilla is coming for
Well, will
you.
it come back?
All right. Yeah, I'll jump out and come back and we'll talk about that. How's that sound?
Yeah.
All right. I'll be right
It has
back.
to sound because we can't see.
I swear Brandy gets even more beautiful every year.
She is a
She
cutie.
seems quite lovely.
She's a fine
All
girl.
right.
What a
Oh,
good
yeah.
wife she
What a
would
good
be.
wife she would be.
You joke, but
You could-
her husband's a good shot. So
And my camera's dead again.
Behold the voice of
double
darkness.
check your input. Make sure your input didn't get switched.
That's what I'm gonna try. Give
You
me
look
just
good,
a
Jeff.
minute.
have you tried turning off the internet and turning it back on?
Rotate the
I hate-
wheels, see which one's flat.
Smack it on the side of the box.
I hear it likes flowers and chocolate and Chinese
All
food.
right. I'll be back.
Thanks for the
You
warning.
said that last time.
Okay, Arnold. Well, that's interesting.
Hmm.
Con going is really complex in this kind of day and age.
You know,
Yeah, it has become so in the last 2 years. Yes.
considering
Well,
every
it was
time I go to a
smart to hedge your
convention-
bets because, I mean, the city at any time could say, hey, our numbers are going up, no public events.
Yeah.
Or the state or the federal government, either one.
Well, in Tennessee, they're
World
pretty
Organization
much
or the
leaving it to the
UN
cities.
or the lizard overlord. Somebody will tell you no.
Yeah, well, I've never paid any attention to anybody whose skin I wear as boots.
They say the same thing about you, you know.
Yeah, well, they haven't caught me yet.
That was incredibly ominous because I took that 180. I didn't think you were talking to the reptilian overlords. I thought you were talking to John. Is there something we need to know?
Well, we know what happened to his foreskin now.
Some Gila monster jumped it. Yeah.
Oh,
This
strange.
is
Apparently,
probably an after show topic.
I'm trying, guys. I'm trying to keep it here and not here, but you're not making it easy on me. And with Joe out, and oh yeah,
apparently LibertyCon had a meeting today, and all this stuff came out because I have gotten on Facebook, all my LibertyCon feeds have exploded. So
Yeah. I think the big meeting, the staff meeting was yesterday. They've been trying to get this video out.
there he
Go!
is, Joe Dogma.
What do you know?
I had to completely close out Chrome to get it to come back.
no kidding.
Yeah.
What did you walk in on, Amy Hale? You walked in on the second greatest show next to mine on the internet.
Yeah. And whatever anybody does, do not sing that song about fish and the family. Starting from the child to the grandparent to the mama, the daddy.
You mean that one about that juvenile shark?
Yeah. Yeah.
I have the faintest idea of what you're rambling on about.
Oh, that's
Yes, you do. You just don't want to. It's denial.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never heard it. I don't know. I've never experienced that.
You've been put on her list, Joe. She's coming for you, man.
Amy, I said, whatever you do, don't do it. I told them all, don't do it. And I didn't even mention it. But, well, I guess that would be good news that LibertyCon's going to make a run for it.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm all for it. I talked to Lindsay about it when I got the announcement from yesterday that there would be a video about Liberty being live tonight, and she said, "Well, is it a risk we want to take?" And I go, "Well, honey, it's really up to you, but I think so. We know these folks; they're going to be doing everything they can to protect us from anything else. All we got to do is just do what we've been doing: mask up, social distance, and pray."
Hey, Lewis.
Yeah.
Did you have to pay to get the COVID shot?
No.
It was government funded or whatever. You just have to show up and get the shot.
Yeah.
Supposedly, all COVID shots are covered by the federal government.
I expect the factory I work for
the entire inventory.
I expect the factory that I work for to do a free COVID shot for everybody. They did a free flu shot for everybody this year,
and they'll probably do. They're probably
that would be awesome, but I wouldn't expect it. The availability.
It's a multinational, multi-billion-dollar corporation. They've got more money than the U.S. government. I mean, good grief.
And once Johnson,
when has something that could afford to do good actually done good?
Once Johnson.
Well, they did give me a flu shot.
No. I'm not saying that the company would not want to. I'm saying that I don't think the federal government is going to do that, or at least not yet.
Yeah.
Maybe later on when you've got about 60-70%, and then they can say, okay, to get the rest, we'll give some to large employers. But
well, we have been designated what is the term? Essential workers. So
if all those jackasses in Georgia that were running for elections hadn't spent all that money on paper products to inundate my mailbox with,
Oh,
I'd
tell me
have free
about
health
it.
care.
Yeah.
For what they spent on all those flyers and things, the millions
Oh
and
my
millions of dollars, I could have had free
John.
health care.
There
They
were
could have
days
given
where
us
I
a
got.
free Tesla truck.
There was one day
Everybody.
I got 10 very large, expensive, full color front and back mailers.
If you know
And
anything
5
about
of them
printing,
were from the same candidate.
if you know anything about printing,
I used to be a printer.
they put maybe, I'm going to say $20 worth of printing products on our house.
I believe it.
It just after
Yeah.
we voted.
It's
like,
Yeah, don't you
voted
wish?
by-
Don't you wish there was some way that after you voted,
they'd leave
could
you alone?
never see another ad?
Oh yeah.
Early
Or
voting would be
even
more
better.
popular than ever.
Oh,
Even better, once you vote, every time you see an ad after you voted, they have to pay you $1.
yeah. Online.
I think that's illegal.
Online.
I think that's
No,
illegal.
like I've already voted, and every ad you send me, you pay me $1.
Just put the sign. I do not consent to receive mail from any political broadcast.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
who
Maybe
is
the
that?
post office needs to have a do not call or do not mail directory, just the way the phone companies do.
Yeah.
Like that works with the phone company.
I know.
But
Hello, my
help me
name is
out.
Ahmed. You need to sell your. We want to
Who is
contact
that?
you about your used car's warranty.
Who's that
It may
radio
have
host?
lapsed.
Who was the radio host in Florida that he was one of those like libertarian type people? He ran a little bed and breakfast down in Swanee, Florida.
Oh no.
And I can't remember his name.
Pol Pot.
No.
No, he was a dictator.
No, but he ran this little radio network down there. It was very libertarian. It was all about, too much government was bad for people. And he had this great thing. Says when they send you these political flyers, says for things you don't agree to, and it has a card that's like return postage guaranteed. It's the thing on it. So tape it to a brick and put it in your mailbox. And when it gets back to whoever the political candidates are that sent it to you, they have to pay the postage to have the brick moved. So, I'm like, I like this guy.
I heard another one just like that, and it involved if it included an envelope with return postage guaranteed. So you shred a Sunday Atlanta Journal-Constitution and stuff it in the envelope and tape it shut and put it in the mailbox.
I just usually send the whole.
Yeah, but I'm not paying $3 for a AJC. Just
normally, I just send all their junk back to them.
I have not subscribed to a paper newspaper in probably 10 years.
We ended our subscription right about the time the election was getting hot, just because it was so much negative. I mean, it was ridiculous how everything was hate this person, hate this person. It's like,
definitely.
I don't need a newspaper to help tell me who to hate. People have cell phones. I know who to hate. I can drive down a freeway and go, hang up your phone and drive.
I've got Facebook. They tell me who to hate.
Hey,
individually.
Yeah. John and Dan, do you think I should contact Brandy and volunteer a consultant service for if they go virtual, or maybe a possible hybrid LibertyCon?
I wouldn't mind being a part of that as far as,
Let's see why not.
doing multi-camera shoots for panels and stuff.
Basically, you are the world's only existing expert on how to do it right.
That we know of.
Well, yeah, we haven't seen conventions in virtual conventions in other countries, but Helicon is one of the best. This past virtual Helicon is one of the best examples.
Telling people how to do it and then sell it to make money.
Well, I wouldn't do Brandy that way.
No. We owe her entirely too much.
I'm not saying not help her. I'm just saying on the side, if you have a skill other people don't have, codify that and make money passively.
Oh,
yeah.
That's how
Other conventions, not LibertyCon, but other conventions.
No, I mean, shoot, like I'm
notorious. Write an instruction manual and copyright it.
Like charity groups and libraries and stuff, because we need to do more nice stuff, but then you make it available for other people to throw a little money your way.
No wonder your hat was all crooked and everything. You keep tossing it across the room.
My head's crooked. The hat was fine. It's my head.
Hey, don't feel bad. I got one leg shorter than the other. I'm constantly walking in.
Hey, Gilligan.
Hey, I'm going to make y'all jealous.
Don't do that.
I'm going to make y'all jealous.
Hey.
My birthday was 2 weeks ago. I asked for one thing for my birthday. My wife couldn't come through.
What was it?
I wanted a bidet.
What's that?
Seriously, one of those add-on
garden hose.
Not the separate utility, but one of the add-ons. Preferably one that heats the water. Well, last week when I had the sniffles, I had this down here because it was more plentiful than a Kleenex box.
I think I got some sandpaper over here
next to your computer, Lewis.
People, somebody asked me one time, they needed some Vaseline petroleum jelly for something that they were doing at the house, and I was like, "Hey, I've got some out my truck," and they're like, "Why do you have Vaseline petroleum jelly in your truck?" I said, "Oh, I changed my battery. And like, what? Yeah, when you change your battery, you put the cables on, clean them up with the wire brush, and once you get everything clamped nice, you coat them with petroleum jelly so they won't corrode.
Keeps them from corroding."
And like, yeah, right.
Well, you don't use the version with carbolic in it.
Thank you.
I love the show.
Well, actually,
Vaseline jelly to
Actually, I used Vaseline jelly today because when I had to use the little rubber connector, I couldn't get it over, so I greased it up. Right on.
You didn't specify you were using PVC pipe.
Should have used Astroglide. I hear you can park a Cadillac in a doghouse with that stuff.
Yeah, you can.
KY, baby.
Hey, Joe, you know
if you use the warming stuff, your hands don't get cold while you're plumbing.
You're supposed to use window cleaner.
Is that what the kids are calling it these days?
Hey, all I'm going to say is my toilet has not flushed this good since I've lived here.
Evidently not, with 7 feet of poop in the pipe.
Are we still on the air?
Unfortunately.
And our ratings just went up.
Feel like Network 23. Was there
It's not my fault. Blame the manatee.
I got a feeling our comments have all stopped because they can't breathe.
Either that or they tuned away.
No,
Good
they're still
air in,
here.
bad air out. Good air in, bad air out, guys. Come on.
This is going to be the highest rated rerun we've got on YouTube.
Make like a dyslexic cow. See, pretty soon, you know what? Pretty soon I'll be the only one here because they'll just start dropping like flies, you know?
They killed Fritz. Oh,
I'm gone. I don't want no part of this.
Oh, another one bites the dust, and another one down. Okay.
John had to go take care of a dead soldier. He's gonna go get reinforced.
And I'm just realizing I'm still wearing a t-shirt. I was supposed to put a shirt on. Oh well.
Oh well. Hey, after the week I had, just having you guys here to laugh.
Unlike Michaela Jade, who apparently is supposed to take her shirt off, depending on how the wager goes. But
hey, yeah. Back during the summer when we were still testing this stuff out, I'd come home from work and strip down to like a swimsuit and be trying to avoid the heat, the Georgia heat, on the computer. And Joe would go, "Hey, you want to join Stupid O'Clock tonight?" And I go, "Yeah, I guess I had to put a shirt on." And it became a running joke.
Hey, if I took my shirt off, all you'd see is scars. There's my pacemaker scar. There's my hyperparathyroid gland removal scar. You want to see my gallbladder scar?
Sure, LBJ. Go ahead and show us.
for us,
Y'all want to see my back surgery?
I don't have a Stetson to be LBJ. Darn, that's a hat I don't have.
A whale.
I'll
I got
show y'all
about
my
4
back
of 'em.
surgery scar.
No,
but I
not a
have to
whale.
know you to show
Man,
it.
it's not a whale; it's a manatee.
Oh, the huge manatee.
You beat me to it.
Ah! No, yeah, we're you know, I gotta thank City Cap for that thing because I've gotten more playtime out of just that thing randomly. It's almost as good as Lydia, my undead assistant, but we stalled the comments. Is there like a technical error, or have we just broken their ability to respond?
Yeah, I think they've just given up.
I think we set the comments on stun.
Take that, Brian K. Morris. Okay.
Oh, they're stunned, all right.
And,
Well,
poor
look,
Brian, and the thing is, poor Brian just missed it.
Well, guys, look,
you're gonna have to watch the replay.
Screen. I mean, seriously, it's so kind of us to try to dial it back. That it only takes 5% of our given sexy to just shut down the comments.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Believe me, after being on in Uncle Carl's green room for 2 or 3 weeks, I really have to dial it back for here.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah.
Dan, I was going to ask you how your music search went for your space battle.
I got about 70 comments, and each one of them was really, really interesting and insightful. And I now have a huge list of stuff that I'd never heard of before that I want to go and listen to when I have some spare time.
The one that I posted was about 13 minutes long, so you better, have some time for that one.
Oh, I already listened to that one.
Oh, did you?
Loved it. Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that a great piece of music? And it's so dynamic. I mean, it was.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It edits itself.
I wasn't sure, what kind of space battle you were looking for. Like Star Wars or.
Oh no,
Galactica.
it was just a question.
5.
Basically, if you were making a movie that had a space battle in it, what would be your soundtrack for the battle? I was just curious. I wasn't researching.
The Girl from Ipanema.
I beat you on that one. I had Yellow's. Oh yeah.
Seriously, The Girl from Ipanema should be played for every elevator scene from now until eternity.
Always.
It should be like the Wilhelm scream for elevators.
Yeah, and it's got to be the Muzak version.
Oh yeah.
No words, just.
What movie is that from? Oh my God!
Isn't that from Die
Blues
Hard?
Brothers.
What?
Blues Brothers.
Oh, that's
Blues
right.
Brothers?
That's
Okay.
right. Yes,
Okay.
when they were going up to the clerk's office, and there was all this carnage, and then they're in the elevator. Yeah, Blues
I
Brothers. You're
want to
right.
see some movie with a giant mecha, like Jet Robot Battletech style, laying waste to a battlefield, boosting around, crazy high, and you cut to the cockpit, and the guy's listening to that.
Actually, my favorite
And then you
one
pan
from
out
that
his
sort of stuff,
explosions and death, and Michael Bay on speed. You know,
Space Above and Beyond,
yes,
where the guy who's the clone, and I can't remember
Yeah.
what they call
the tank.
the tank. He has stolen the CD from the Mars probe.
Yes,
It's the message CD that's got all the music on it.
Yes.
That's supposed to the message for other
Oh,
extraterrestrial
from the
life.
Voyager, yeah.
Well, this one was actually a communications relay satellite or something like that, and they went out to repair it, and they found this. It was a compact disc. That was that same. The original one was like an LP record. Well, this one was a compact disc, and he was like, "What the heck is this?" And he's like, "Well, that's the message disc." And he's like, "What?" And he didn't know anything about culture or anything like that. And they're like, "Yeah, that's the messages for all the things." So he stuffed it in his pocket, like, yeah, $1 million worth of NASA hardware. Yeah, I'm taking it with me. And he gets back to the ship and he's playing it on his CD player. And he's like, listen to all this music. He goes through it. And eventually they get to the Ramones doing Blitzkrieg Bop. And he's like,
Like that, yeah.
Oh,
so anyway, later on, they're having the space battle and they're totally outnumbered. But they hide in an asteroid field and they wait as the enemy fleet goes by. And they're like, well, somebody's got to kick this thing off. And he's like, he reaches out in his pocket, pulls out that CD, puts it in the CD player on his space fighter. Hey, ho, let's go.
Because if I remember right,
Everybody
they were
else is
getting
like,
out of the bad guys were getting out of position, and they needed to lure them in. So he opens up on all comms, knowing the aliens are hearing this, and blasts out
and
that
drops
"Hey
them
ho,
into an
let's
ambush.
go."
Yeah.
That series is one of my favorite lines ever because it's got R. Lee Ermey training the Space Marine. Goes,
Marines.
do you have, they say there is no sound in outer space. That is a lie. The war cry of the United States Marines is the only sound you can hear in space. And he's just going,
Let me hear your war cry. My what? Your war cry. Work on it.
What about the latest Star Trek movie from the Kelvin timeline, and
Yeah.
the way they decide that they can mess up the communication between all the enemy crafts is to blast the Beastie Boys.
it was great.
That's why I eliminated that one in the that one and
I thought
what
the
other
same
ones
thing.
was it, John? There were 3 songs that I said these have been taken. Don't use these. And Sabotage was one of them. I can't remember the others at the moment.
That reminds me of the Twilight Zone
Springer of
episode.
War by Holst should
Yes,
also be eliminated. That was in Predator.
Yeah, but
And then,
I didn't eliminate it, so somebody put it in, and it would work really well.
it is a good warfare song, but it's Mars Springer of War. Duh. Now I threw some interesting ones at you just because I didn't know what kind of space battle you were looking at.
Oh, it was not mine. I was just looking for people's suggestions, what they thought was the perfect thing. It's not like I was doing research for a story. I was just going, hey, what do you think?
Well, it depends on the type of space. That's just it. I don't know what type of space battle you're talking about. Like I put everything from country music to Yellow doing "Oh Yeah" and Ozzy Osbourne doing "Let Me Hear You Scream."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you made a number of suggestions, and
See, I love conflicting music.
I think War Pigs was one of the ones that I eliminated because it
Too
had been
slow.
done
Yeah,
so
it's
very
been done,
well.
it's too slow for a space battle.
Well, see, you could do slow if it's the right
Kind of
tune.
space
It's
battle.
like, imagine a space battle where it's like the old commander basically going out and taking as many with him as possible, and you've got Johnny Cash's cover of Hurt playing.
Oh yeah.
Well, you
Carl
remember
Whitman says the
we were talking
Safari's
about Space
Wipeout.
Above and Beyond. You remember the one about Kick Butts?
Yes.
Where his buddy that died was always listening to Johnny Cash music.
Yep.
And so when he got stuck in the black hole wash,
yes,
and he couldn't get out, he ran out of fuel, and the black hole was sucking him in. And everybody's like, "Oh man, it's Semper Fi, goodbye,
that is,
man."
to this day, it's why I use the phrase "it's as easy as eating pancakes."
Pancakes. Yeah. And
that puts that into my vernacular.
And he puts in he's in his buddy's fighter that they had rescued, and he puts in the Johnny Cash CD, and it's like, "I keep a close watch on this heart of mine." and it's kind of funny. The closer he gets to the black hole, you hear the music distorting. "Are you real cool?" And it's like, whoa.
Well, it's like what they did with, what is it, Once Around the Watchtower, I think it's what it's called, on the new Battlestar Galactica. All Around the Watchtower.
Yeah.
All along the Watchtower.
That shows you what you can do with a single song if you seed it and you break it down properly. You can make it into sort of an unnamed anthem that just creeps up on people.
Yeah, well, I remember when they first started playing, I'm going, "What is that song? What is that song?" I mean, it was like what, almost 4 episodes that they just play like 4 or 5 bars of it. You knew the song, you just couldn't place it.
I can name that in 5.
That was before Shazam.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a really good experiment there. That post brought me a lot of good song suggestions. If I ever really need to write a space battle again, that I just remembered one of the other 2 songs that I eliminated was "Murder Weapon" by T-Bone Burnett.
Okay.
I love that song, but I used it in one of my own stories. But
well,
Dan, where did you post that?
on my Facebook.
See, it didn't come up for me. I'm gonna have to go look through.
Yeah,
that's just good research.
Yeah. Guys, I'm gonna throw a program.
I just had it up. It was from the 24th.
That's
on January 24th. It's not too far down.
A friend of mine passed, and I've been kind of taking care of some other stuff online, so I missed a lot of other people's comments.
I'm going to drop a programming note here. We're not going to do an after show tonight because I'm going to bed. I am beat. Plus, I got a launch tomorrow, and start time is 6:40 a.m.
What's launching tomorrow?
Starlink.
Oh.
So,
behold the massive enthusiasm of Lewis at a Starlink launch.
I'm sorry, I can't get excited about Starlink anymore. It's like
okay, up to 2,000 of them. I mean,
it was like in 1971 when we said, "Oh, going to the moon again." No.
Now they are talking. What was it? There's a hurricane, and they're talking about trying to land the crew capsule in the hurricane or something like that.
What?
What?
It's not hurricane season yet.
No.
Apparently, well, that doesn't mean hurricanes. I mean,
so they're aiming for the Mid-Atlantic, and they're going to wind up in Houston.
Well, they're aiming for somewhere near Florida, but they're thinking Florida may get hit with a hurricane soon.
Well, they're just.
That's the first I heard.
They're planning contingency on the crew capsule return in early March.
Still 3 months before hurricane season.
Oh,
I think John might be mishearing that.
yeah.
I may have the date wrong, but you see which ones I posted. Let's see. From the Nativity in Black album, which was the what was it? The tribute to Black Sabbath.
Mm-hmm.
Machine Head doing "Hole in the Sky,"
Ooh.
which was a good one. You see, MDFMK from the Heavy Metal Fact 2 soundtrack doing "Missing Time."
Mm-hmm.
John Lee Hooker, "Boom Boom."
Oh yeah, that was
Boom, 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 boom.
yeah.
Gonna shoot you right down, which is perfect for certain types of space battles.
White
Of course.
Stripes 7 Nation Army.
Yeah, maybe.
The
Depends on the space
PMJ New Orleans dirge version.
I got,
Haley Reinhardt, I think, sings it.
Of course, I got Yellow's "Oh Yeah" from Ozzy Osbourne. "Let Me Hear You Scream." Blues Saraceno, "Strident Missile," which was good. And then Blues Saraceno, "Evil Ways." And then Helmet and House of Pain doing "Just Another Victim" from the Judgment Night soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't know if y'all have ever heard that one. So
Are you reading these from Dan?
I'm reading these from Dan's, but I'm reading what I posted here. But they've also got
These are his suggestions to
Oh.
me.
those are mine. Rick Wakeman's "White Rock."
Oh, that would be a good one because it takes off and kicks butt from the intro on to the end. It really does. That would be a good fast paced, dog
Hero
fight.
the Hero fight. I put that one in there. That's a good one. Yeah.
Carl just threw up Great Balls of Fire.
That would be a good one too, believe me. Especially if we could work a flaming piano in there somehow.
Fire the Flaming Torpedoes.
And Skunk's right here at the end of the show.
Hey, Skunk.
We're not going to be running an after show because I've been working fixing the plumbing issue all day.
Shitter was full.
Shitter was full.
Why did I even bother showing up?
Well,
I don't know, but
you were asking.
Between Skunk and John, maybe we can run an after show with Joke and go to bed.
But you need to run the rerun after it's over and watch what was it, about 11:20? We all went totally stupid. 12:20, about 12:20.
It was somewhere around an hour 30.
It lost all sense of control or direction.
We went completely off.
There was no dignity involved at all.
Now Lewis was on the floor.
I thought for sure YouTube took us off the air, but
probably should have for our own reputations. But
tonight is still young.
We're still on YouTube.
Prophylactic disconnect.
Well,
your own good. You'll thank
that
us
sounds
later.
like a good name for
enough Vaseline. I bet you.
Well, I do have a question though.
Again.
I do have a real quick question though. Was that around 12:35 in the morning when Carl said Lewis is down? We need him back.
Yeah.
I was wondering about that.
That was about it. Lewis damn near fell out of his chair. I don't know who told the joke, but it really.
Carl,
it was John talking about Vaseline.
Carl,
I don't know. I don't know if
I didn't have arms on the
Carl,
side of my chair. I'd have been on the deck, man.
I don't know if I want to know.
Oh, come on now.
Get down to some go-go music. God bless us, everyone.
I keep expecting Goldie to pop up anytime.
Suck it to me.
Carl Witzman says the funny thing was that's when my YouTube shut down with error.
Remember when Nixon did that? Sock it to me.
I actually have seen every episode of
Oh, Laugh-In
Laugh-In,
was
so-
just
That
the
was when
best.
comedy was great, though.
Yeah.
oh yeah, the Laugh-In and the
And
Smothers
politicians
Brothers
could make a
made
joke.
my youth.
Oh,
Everybody-
gosh. Mother's Brothers.
Everybody
Do you like
on
what the
that
piano
show
player
was
says?
a legend.
Yeah.
They might not have been then, but they were a legend.
They became legendary.
Rowan, Martin, Goldie, Roof Buzzy, Art.
Artie Johnson.
Artie
Yeah.
Johnson.
Was it
Paul
Phil
Lynde,
Diller on there? Paul Lynde.
Phyllis
Yeah.
Diller was guested several times. Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh crap.
There was only one comedy show that was better than that.
The Smothers Brothers.
The Carol Burnett Show.
Oh, yeah.
I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one.
Laugh-In was just a little more
Zany.
political.
Well, yeah.
Flying Fickle
Yeah.
Finger of Fate Award. Yes.
Yeah,
I'm
the
sorry,
Flying
I
Fickle
sway
Finger of Fate
Laughing
Award.
with Benny Hill. You know what I mean? And when I start lining them up, and
See,
Benny
I
Hill
didn't
was-
get into British humor until I was like in my 30s. I did not get British humor in my teens and 20s.
oh,
No,
Oh,
I got Monty Python by that age, but
Yeah, I was. Well, no.
No.
I
Monty
was,
Python was what got me into British humor after I had watched, a couple of times.
Flying Circus. That's
yeah.
used to be on
Well,
PBS at
And,
night.
and I had never
So-
seen the Flying Circus.
Really.
Well, I would see it as, jumping through the channels, and I'm like, oh, nah.
my
I would hear
stepdad
the accent,
was
like, nah. But
big- my stepdad was big into PBS, and that's what got me into Monty Python and Doctor Who. And
Doctor Who, Red
and
Dwarf.
I did not get into Doctor Who until I got together with Denise. That was about 10, 11 years ago. I saw my very first Doctor Who, and it was Eggleston, Chris Eggleston.
I
So he
had
was
to climb.
He's
I
a
had to
good
climb
first
a-
doctor.
I had to climb a 40-foot tall television tower
Mm-hmm.
in a thunderstorm to work
Dad not
loose
like you?
the cam, because it had one of crank handles down near the bottom of it that you could
Yeah.
aim the antenna in the direction you needed so that we could get Georgia's PBS station. Yeah. Well, something had happened with this thunderstorm and the wind had jammed the thing. And we couldn't watch Doctor Who. So he says, you know you're climbing a 40-foot metal tower in the middle of a thunderstorm, right? He was an electrician, a union electrician with TVA. Okay. He's like, you know you're climbing a 40-foot. We're watching Doctor Who. Shut up.
Priority.
And guys, we're gonna
now
have to wrap.
that is a fan.
We're gonna have to wrap this up. If y'all want to hang on this channel to continue your after show,
Sure.
you're more than welcome to.
Me and Scott can run the after show if you don't.
Well,
unless you
after show runs on my page,
Yeah.
and I just would rather me be
Yeah.
there.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
Okay,
fine with that.
we can go straight to the after show. That's fine.
yeah,
That's
Even
fine.
earlier tonight, it's probably a good idea, guys.
yeah.
Yeah,
I have to go pick up groceries at 7, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, with that, I want to thank everybody that's tuned in. Thank you. Thank
And
you
we-
guys for being here.
apologize profusely.
Oh,
Oh no, we don't. We meant every word of it.
Now,
Sorry, not sorry. Reasons.
Lewis, I'm gonna give you Carl just threw up a name that gives
Judy
us
Carmen,
an idea,
yeah.
but that's not the same. Probably not the same Judy Carn we know.
No.
All right.
Well, it's the one I know from Laugh-In.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
that one was married to Burt Reynolds at one time.
yeah. All right. Let's
Who
say good
wasn't
night,
married to Burt
everybody,
Reynolds
and
at one time?
we'll see y'all
Judy
Thursday.
Carn was.
We'll be back Thursday at 9 p.m. and I will see y'all in the morning for a rocket launch on the Armchair Rocket Science at 6:40 a.m.
Maybe.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Oh, I have slipped the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter-silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done 100 things you have not dreamed of. Wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up, up the long, delirious, burning blue, I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace, when never lark nor even eagle flew. And while with silent, lifting mind, I've trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand and touched the face of God.